Hello, nice to see you. It's my first video, uh, filming it in my room. It's where I hang out a lot of times. Been through a lot this year, so this has kind of been my recovery room. I worked for county jail for 10 years in this town, and my sister worked there. Both of my sisters worked there for 20 years. And one of them still works there. Unfortunately, my other sister, Stacy, she passed away during the COVID times. Not of COVID, but during that time. And that was a lot to handle. I ate that for about a year, sat on it, didn't just put it out of my mind. Like when my mom passed away, same thing, and just internalized everything. And eventually stuff at work just started getting crazy. Overtime was out of control. I was doing like 2 16-hour shifts every week. It was like 16 extra hours every week. Like 2 8-hour shifts at least, and then maybe some more too on top of that. Very unpredictable, very stressful. So this went on for like 6 months. And against my better judgment, I knew that I should have gotten out in September, but I brought it all the way to January. Then the next thing you know, I had a meltdown one day in one of the units. It was the end of the shift, and I called my captain, and I was just like, I'm out of here. I can't handle that. So I got some help. Was out on stress. So I'm out on stress for a while. Next thing you know, I go to Nashville, Tennessee for a little vacation, little time away. Ended up getting in an accident in an Uber, rear-ended by an 18-wheeler. Go figure. All right. So then after that, just had some serious relationship issues, hardships, very unfulfilling. But throughout that summer, one good thing that I did manage to do was I started to find myself. Getting away from that job was the best thing I could ever do, and I encourage anybody who's in an uncomfortable position where they don't feel as though the job or the life situation is serving them, get out. It's not worth sticking around for. It's not worth it. Get out while you can, while you still have your sanity, while you still have your life. It was almost like when I was in that jail, on my last day there, my sister just came to me and it wasn't her, but it was just basically like echoes of what she would say to me, or thinking about her and how she was there for 20 years and she still wasn't happy, not fulfilled in life, and she was stuck in that hellhole, to put it nicely. But everything happens for a reason, and I read cards, tarot cards, and I watch a lot of tarot readers, and I've been doing it for many, many years, but it wasn't my main focus of life throughout these years. I just did it for fun and enjoyment because it intrigued me. But I'm getting more and more into it now, and I really love it. But here's one of the cards that relates to what I was just telling you about. It's called the Tower. And the Tower is something that tends to happen to us when things in our life just get out of control and just implode. They just come down like the Twin Towers. Everything that we thought we knew, our stable footing, all of the sureties in life just go right out the window. And then after that, it's time to rebuild. And a lot of people would just say that, well, what a hateful, awful thing that is. But I'm here to tell you that these tower moments are teachable moments. It's a situation where you can learn from. You can build back into something that you never thought you were. You could completely transform your life. And I know I have. You know, it's been very, very difficult and very agonizing. I've been through a lot of pain. I've definitely been through more pain than I have pleasure, that's for sure. Or anything else for that matter. I'm at a stage in my life right now where I have to rely on myself and Source, Spirit, the Most High, the Creator, the Divine, the angels that are in my life, spirit guides, my ancestors. They're all surrounding me. I'm extremely well protected. There's no way that you can get rear-ended by an 18-wheeler in a compact car, an Uber car. I'm in the back seat with my seatbelt on, and I lived. You know, I attribute it to a few different factors, but the main issue that I say is that, you know, I've always been protected. I might have not always had things easy. You know, I've been through a lot in my life. You know, I'm an Aries sun, Cancer moon, and a Capricorn rising. I got a whole hell of a lot of Gemini in my chart, which is, you know, lends itself to communication, and I'm straight to the point. I love to talk, and I love to communicate. I'm surprised I haven't done this more, but I've just been too busy. Work has consumed me for years. I was at that jail for 10 years, and it was just all you did was work. Go to sleep, get up, go to work, go to sleep. And I worked overnight, but those overnights would turn into working during the day as well, being exhausted, dealing with inmates, having to be in critical situations, and you can't even think straight. They just asked way too much of us, way too much. And I'm sure it's like that in every jail right now, in every line of work that deals with the public, nursing, outside law enforcement, such as police officers and state troopers and things like that. But right now is a rebuilding time for me. It's a time of refuge, healing. There's another card in tarot called the Star, and I would say that resembles my life right now. Another thing that those tower moments have taught me now is that the things in life sometimes that you feel are the most vital, that you've always wanted. Like, I've always wanted to have a loving, stable relationship with somebody that I can connect with on a deep level. Not just, oh, I'm with this person, or they're with me because of what I can provide, or they like the way I look, or who I'm connected to, or any of that stuff. I'm talking about a soul connection where you vibe with that person, you feel connected to that person, you feel like they're your best friend, you feel like your hearts are just combined. You know, people don't seem to value that anymore these days. Like, some people do, I know, I'm sure they do, but I see a lot more people going for the material and the substance. There's a lot of NPCs out there, non-player characters, people who are shallow, people who have not good intentions for the people that they're with. And the people that they're with just take it for granted. They don't even realize that there's a knife waiting to shank them right in the back. You know, I'd rather be alone. And at this point I am. I'm tired of giving everything and getting absolutely nothing in return. I'm worth more than that. My whole physiology, my whole brain chemistry, everything about me is different now after those tower moments. After going through this a few consecutive times, losing people in your life, having people take you for granted, walk all over you, ignore you, ghost you, treat you like absolute shit. And then, you start feeling like, oh, am I the problem? Is it me? Come on now, let's be serious. If you really think back be honest. I mean, if you are, you are. If you're a low-life person that doesn't deserve, like, anything that they get, because you're a taker or whatever, or you're some kind of a liar or a conniver or a cheater, like any of these bad aspects of humanity, if you're not that and you know it and you've done your best and you always try, it's like the people who I feel give the most in society nowadays and try the hardest. I mean, we're looked at as like, oh, you guys are too nice, or you're a simp, or like whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? You want to put down somebody who's a decent guy that'll just, like, what do people want anymore? You don't want to be like hugged and held and take walks and go places and have fun together and just really enjoy each other. Like, isn't that what it's really supposed to be about? Maybe back in the day, I guess, when you look back on it, like, people who are couples and were together for survival, and they were basically like, one would go out to work and the other one would take care of the family and the children and everything like that, and make sure everything was provided for at the home. But I think that was because they had to do it that way. There had to have been some kind of love there, over the time and this and that, but it was, it was a traditional experience for people. But nowadays, you can basically have whatever kind of life you want, and people are just throwing it away left and right. I see more scumbags and people who don't really love the people that they're with getting more and more, like, they get the dates, they get people, chasing them, all this other stuff. And then, like, a regular person who just has a big heart and something to say and positive and a lot to give, they get the shaft. We're the invisible. We're basically like an invisible class. We're like the untouchables. But I don't care anymore. I'm talking about it now because it's on my mind and it's something that I feel like people need to hear. And somebody might hear this and say, hey, that's what's going on in my life. I've been going through that for a long time. You hear about incels and things like that. To me, it breaks my heart because I've been through it. And I'm not a bad looking guy, you know what I mean? And like, I'm injured right now, but like when I'm in the gym, I can't be stopped. I can't be stopped. I mean, there's no question. I don't even have to say another word about it. I know it. Everybody around me knows it. Everybody who's ever known me knows it. You know what I mean? I've won competitions before. I go in gyms and start working out like a maniac for like 3 months, and people are looking at me like I'm all juiced up. But it's not true. I never touched juice in my life. But yeah, that's just something that I had in my mind. I am a happy man. I got a lot of friends. I got good family and everything like that. I mean, I'm not trying to be all gloom and doom, but this is basically like this is my intro video to YouTube, and I just wanted to see like what people have to say. I probably won't get many views or anything like that because nobody even knows that I'm doing this. But I'm not on social media right now. I haven't been on social media for a long time because of like the terms of service agreements that MySpace and all these, no, MySpace, Facebook and whatnot have, and they talk about they can look at everything you have, and look in your phone and find out all your information. I'm not about that. I'm really not about that. I guess I could make an exception here and there for like something that's not. I definitely won't do stupid Facebook. No, I'm all set. Been there, done that. I had years when I had like a lot of good memories on there and a lot of friends, and I was like reaching out. It was beautiful. Great friends in high school. People that like you did lose track of because like I went to college after high school, and not all of my friends did, and like some of them went to different schools and whatnot. And then you settle down. I had a girlfriend when I was like in my 20s. I was 24. I had my first kid, and well, that's when we had our first kid, I should say. And after that, I just lost track of a lot of people because you're just so involved with the family unit and stuff. And she had another kid too, so I had a stepkid, and I had my son. And then from there on out, it just went on and on. And I ended up having another child years later. And all of these different things kind of like push you further and further away from the people you know because you're so busy just trying to live your life. So like that Facebook was kind of nice to be able to connect with them, but not at the expense of having them pry into your personal business and get all your information and documents and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm really kind of enjoying this. This is kind of cool. I have a lot of different things I'm into, like crystals. This is selenite. It's my selenite wand. I do practice the arts too, as well as read tarot cards and whatnot. But yeah, I got some citrine here. It's a great stone for positive energy and self-assuredness and just all around good vibes. It's an excellent stone. This was an aqua. It's good for communication, throat chakra. It's beautiful. This one is argonite, blue argonite, I believe. This is also good for healing and positive vibrations. And if you've been through the tower as many times as I have and had it come down on you and feel that pain, argonite, blue argonite, highly recommend it. What else? Yeah, so I've been looking into my my birth chart, and I found out after all these years that I'm a Capricorn rising. So yeah, Capricorn. Capricorns get a lot of bad press, associated with the devil and very hard, stern, unapproachable people. But we're the toughest, hardest working people around you'll ever see. My mom was an actual sun. Her sun sign was Capricorn. My mom was my best friend. Absolutely. School teacher, tough as nails. Didn't care if anybody liked her or not. She was her own person, and I'm learning to be that way. And I wish I would have known this earlier. I wish I would have known that I had this aspect earlier, because lately when things get tough and I've been through a lot of stuff, I literally in my mind go to the fact that I have that Capricorn in me, and it helps. Believe me, it helps me shoulder the burden, and then I'm looking for another card here that I also found out. Is that I am a Cancer moon. And I never knew that either. And I didn't know that much about. I've studied astrology throughout my life, but I never really knew how that sign really, really resonates with me. I mean, when you have a moon sign, that lends itself to your internal self. My rising sign, which is a Capricorn, is what you project outwardly. That's what people see. They see that in your behavior, your attitude, how you do things, how you get stuff done. Your sun sign is your overall sign. Like, basically, like, you'll see that part of you in a lot of your stuff, like everywhere, like all throughout. But it's your major. But people typically think, oh, okay, they know their sun sign. Everybody knows their sun sign because that's easy. That's the month that you were born. If you were born in, let's say, in May, from a certain time in May to another certain time in May, you're a Taurus. Mostly everybody in my family was a Taurus except my mom and me. But they were all earth signs, and I was a fire sign, Aries. And I love being an Aries. That's just how I am. That's me. I'm go for it, go getter. Like, I get stuff done. If things need to be done, I'm the guy to call. I'll get it done. I'll take it down. Nothing stands in my way. I'll smash right through it with my head. But yeah, finding out about the Cancer moon was cool because I have a lot of caring, nurturing qualities in me. I went to school for psychology. I'm a genuinely gifted, like, empath, you know what I mean? I'm an empathic, intuitive person. I can tell if there's 3 people in that room that I walk into that don't like me, I'll be able to find out every single one, even if they don't even look at me. I can just tell by your energy how you are and how you feel about me generally if I come into that room, you know. I pay attention to stuff, you know what I mean? But I really care about, like, the home life. I care about, you know, how things are put together, organization, family, friends, just a very loving kind of, you know, my daughter, and I'm a single dad. I've been a single dad for years and years, but my daughter's like, you're the mom and the dad, you know, and she said that a few times, you know, and it brings a little tear to my eye because it's true, you know what I mean? For my family, I do everything, spend my last penny on them, break my back for them. My friends, I'll walk into a burning building, you know what I mean? I've been in bar clearing brawls and I've had a buddy left inside and I've gone straight back in there. Not without even a blink of an eye. I don't care. You know, I guess it was that part of me that worked out for me when I worked at the jail, because I had a lot of confrontations and situations that were dangerous that most people would just piss their pants and run away from. Not bragging or anything like that. It's insane, some of the stuff that I did and saw and said and dealt with. But the best thing I ever dealt with, the best way I ever dealt with situations in there was with this and with that. Use your head and your heart. If the way you talk to people, the way you treat people, that's where it's at. A lot of people don't know that these days. A lot of people think they can get away with not communicating, not understanding people, not having empathy. See where that gets you. Get you nowhere, I'll tell you that much. But thank you for listening, for being a part of my very first podcast, or whatever you want to call this. Podcast? Whatever it is. But we'll see you around. Take care.